Hey everyone, Rancher Mike here. Look, I gotta be honest, this video is a tough one to record. But as cattle ranchers, we all face challenges, and sometimes those challenges come with heartbreaking lessons. Today I want to share the story of my young bull and his battle with clover bloat. Now for some of you who might be new to cattle ranching, clover bloat is a serious condition that can happen when cattle eat too much of certain types of rapidly fermenting forages like clover. This creates a buildup of gas in their rumen. If left untreated, this gas buildup can be fatal. It all started a few weeks back. I was out doing my morning rounds checking on the young bull, whom I had separated from the herd for the winter, when I noticed something was off. The bull usually greets me when I come around, but this time he was just standing there, his belly noticeably distended. His breathing seemed a little labored, shallow, like he was struggling to fill his lungs. Right away, alarm bells started ringing in my head. These were classic signs of bloat. I knew I had to act fast. The first thing I did was limit his access to anything green. Clover was the culprit here, so I grabbed my mower and cut down all the clover and grass in his pen. Dry hay became the order of the day. Knowing he still had an appetite, I figured I could use that to my advantage, so I grabbed a bucket of his usual range cubes, the kind with all the essential nutrients. This time though, I mixed in a healthy dose of mineral oil. Mineral oil is known to help with gas relief in cattle. I then placed some dry cubes on top. I figured, hey, disguise the medicine in his favorite food, what could go wrong? Well, apparently he has a discerning palate. He picked out the dry cubes, leaving the treated ones virtually untouched. Therefore, I raced to the feed store and grabbed a bloat block. As you have seen from my prior videos, bloat blocks contain chemicals that can help relieve gas, but they only work if the animal actually licks them. I placed the block in his pen, hoping he'd get the idea. Now, this young bull comes from great stock, but he was also new to the herd. I just separated him from the main group a while back, and it seemed he hadn't quite gotten the hang of all the herd rituals yet. One of those rituals, apparently, is learning how to use a bloat block. I had one more trick up my sleeve though. I decided to drill holes in the bloat block and place dry cubes in those holes in the hopes that he would have to lick the block to get to the cubes. But again, he just seemed perplexed, and after a few minutes of trying to remove the cubes with his teeth, he gave up. By this point, a day had passed, and his condition wasn't getting any better. Panic started to set in. This wasn't just bloat anymore, this was serious. I grabbed my phone and dialed a good friend and cattle rancher Wes Davis to see if he had any suggestions. You might recognize Wes from one of my earlier videos in which he and his son Weston helped me take my calves to auction. You can find that video here. Wes's advice was clear. Try to get the bull moving around, hoping to stimulate a bowel movement and release some of the gas buildup. So I enlisted the help of my niece and nephew who were visiting, and together we basically played tag with the young bull. At first I walked in front with range cubes, and Julia and Steven drove behind to encourage the bull to keep moving.
Let's get you walking.
After the bull figured out that I had treats, I decided to hop in the back of the Ranger to prevent getting trampled. For the next hour or so, we succeeded in getting the bull to run around the pen. But he never did have a big bowel movement, and eventually he got tired of playing chase, with no significant improvement in his bloat condition. When that didn't work, Wes's advice was to take the bull to the vet so they could insert a cannula in his left side, as you see in this video, and physically release the gas. Wes cautioned against me trying to do this procedure on my own because I could cause more harm than good if I did it wrong, or if the rumen started leaking into the abdomen. In addition, inserting a cannula into the animal's side may not solve the problem, because clover bloat is often due to a buildup of froth instead of gas. In those cases, a stomach tube may need to be inserted with a defoaming agent to break down the foam. Therefore, having a veterinarian perform these procedures is always the best course of action. That is when I knew I had no choice but to take the bull in to see the vet. So I called my trusted helper Alfonso, and together we began moving the bull to the back of the property where my loading chute is located, so we could get him on the trailer and take him in. But the young bull was ornery, and he kept stopping along the way. So I decided to get out of the bed of the Ranger and drive behind the bull to keep him moving forward, while Alfonso walked in front with some cubes to entice him. My dogs, Pixie and Bandit, seemed to enjoy this game as well, and I was happy to have their help keeping the bull in line. The system worked great for a while, at least until the bull saw the first stock tank and made a run for it. And as you can see in the video, he wasn't inclined to get out of the cool water. Fortunately, we were able to eventually coax him out of the water and continue moving him to the back pasture. At this point, the bull seemed more cooperative, so I decided to switch places with Alfonso to give him a break. Just then, the bull took off. Fortunately, Alfonso was able to continue moving him into the corral without my help. I returned to the house to grab my truck and trailer. Relief washed over me. Maybe there was still hope. I drove as fast as I could to the back, my mind racing with a million scenarios. But when I pulled up to the corral and hopped out to check on the bull, I was met with a sight that will forever be etched in my memory. I was too late, and the young bull had succumbed to the bloat. It's a constant battle for us cattle ranchers, and this incident is a harsh lesson on the importance of early detection and swift action. It is important to keep in mind that forage consumption in early spring, when temperatures are cooler, tends to lead to bloat. It is also a good idea not to allow your animals to forage in the mornings when there is a lot of moisture on the ground. In the comments below, I hope you'll share your experiences with bloat and any tips you might have for prevention or cure. Let's use this tragedy to raise awareness and help other cattle ranchers avoid a similar tragedy. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up below. You can also check out one of my other videos here, and stay up to date by subscribing to my YouTube channel right here. Until next time, I'll see you on the ranch.